Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Hobby and I teach honors physics and AP physics. I use the same home screen for both of my classes because the main stuff that we're going to talk about today for the open house is the same for both classes. In both classes, we did a word cloud where I combined the results of the two classes, honors physics and AP physics, to create this beautiful piece of artwork that you see before you. And as you can see, the most common response to this word cloud was curious. So what is the question that I asked the students? Well, I asked the students what they felt was the number one word that best described a scientist. And I had some funny responses, but the most common response was curious, curiosity, intelligence, creativity. And that's what I want from my students, not just as scientists, but, from all my students to act this way, to be curious and creative and to explore and try to learn about the world and look for the good in the world and find out more and learn more. Anyway, the way you can contact me if you have any questions is chad.hobby@ocps.k12.fl.us. That's what I was told was my email, but I've also seen people send emails to chad.hobby@ocps.net, and that works as well. So it's really just a personal preference, I think. I'm pretty sure both emails work. The old way of doing it was chad.hobby@ocps.net. You can also reach me at 101-665-@ocps.net, which is the same. It all goes to the same mailbox. If you want to call me or talk to me on the phone, send me an email first. Ask me to give you a call. I'll give you a call. If you prefer to do it over a phone, that's fine with me. I don't mind either way. Or we could even meet in person. If you want to meet in person, we could set up a meeting with the guidance office and meet in person. Of course, we have to wear masks now for that, but we can do it any way that works best for you. It is a virtual class this year, so all the schoolwork and everything is going to be submitted through the Canvas page. All the assignments are posted on the Canvas page. All the announcements are on the Canvas page. I even do tutoring through the Canvas page. Every day your student will log in to Canvas and go to the conferences tab over here on the left, and when they get there they'll see the conference that's available for the day, which is called Virtual Classroom. Okay, so every day I have a virtual classroom and they log into that in order for me to take attendance and talk to them, and usually I do presentations through there or we do activities through there. We even do our labs there together, as we all are there logged in together, and that way they can ask me questions right away, and I'm right there ready to answer any questions that they have. And they can send those questions through chat or through a microphone by talking to me if they want to turn on their mic. Most students don't turn on their mics or their webcams, and I'm told that some of the laptops have technical difficulties where they can't do it. And I don't mind either way. As long as the students are there and they're getting their work done and we are learning together, I'm happy. Whatever we have to do to make that happen, I'm willing to do it. So for students that struggle and have questions, I also do tutoring through the virtual classroom, and I have tutoring every Thursday from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Usually I have 1 to 2 students in tutoring that show up, and sometimes more, sometimes less. It usually depends if there's a test. So if there's a test, I also schedule additional hours. I'll do tutoring on Fridays sometimes. Other times I've done tutoring on Wednesdays or Mondays, whatever students need. So if your student can't meet from 2:30 to 3:30 on Thursday, don't panic. They can always send me a message and we can do tutoring on a different day at a different time that works for them. I don't mind doing extra tutoring hours and talking about physics more, as long as I'm helping them. That's what matters to me. So I grade every weekend, and 50% of their grade in my class is the test grade. For the test grades, the way we do it is everything is open notes right now, and it's all done online. So they're allowed to use their notes. They're allowed to look at Khan Academy and other web pages that have notes. I make all the tests myself, so they're not easy to Google. So because of that, I'm asking the questions that I know they can't Google for the most part. So they can use all the notes they want on it. And I also give all my students 2 attempts on all tests, and I keep the highest score out of the 2 test grades, so they can take it again if they want to. We're also doing 20% of your class grade is quiz grade. Quizzes are kind of like smaller versions of tests, and they're always multiple choice or fill in the blank. And for those, I'm also doing 2 attempts, and it's also open notes. Labs and classwork are usually graded on participation, not really on correctness, because the whole point of those is to practice and prepare for the tests and the quizzes. And most of the assignments in the class are labs and classwork. So we do about 2 tests in 9 weeks and about 3 quizzes in 9 weeks. And the rest of it is labs and classwork, getting ready for those quizzes and tests, which is why they have 2 attempts on them, because it's a big deal to do good on those. Also, every 9 weeks, I will have an extra credit assignment near the end of the 9 weeks worth a couple points. And it might raise their grade about 2 to 3% or that sort of thing if they do well on it. So in order for people to do the retakes, I prefer it if they show me notes first, that way, or at least pause in between the 2 attempts to take notes and review the material. That way you can figure out what you did wrong on the first quiz and then do better on the second one. I do not want students to take both attempts back to back, because usually they make the same mistakes again and it doesn't help. I find that students get a second attempt, they're actually learning from it, which is really good. I like that. They fail the first one, sure, but then they go back and they review the material and they study those questions, and they're going to learn something, right? And when they learn something, then they do better on the second attempt. I'm fine with that. I'm happy that they have learned the material. That's all that matters to me, is that in the end, they have learned something about the course, right? So the course is changing because, well, you know, this is a weird year. 2020's got weird things going on. So what I'm doing every week is I'm posting the schedule for the week under the modules section of the course, where students will be able to see all of the things that are posted there. And the schedule every week tells them what to expect for that week, what we're doing that week. Okay? And if you want to know more about me, I have a Bachelor's of Science in Physics and a Master's of Arts in Teaching. And I've been working for OCPS since 2013, but I've been teaching physics since 2011. And I think that the important thing to remember here is that our goal is to learn about science and physics. And I'm just going to do my best to provide guidance and assist the students. But, you know, I need the students to be the best they can be and do the best work they can do in this situation. It's very easy for them to cheat right now because of the way we're doing virtual school. But, you know, by cheating, they're really just going to be hurting themselves in the future when they don't understand the material for the final exam, which the county is doing. If you have any questions, feel free to send me your questions and by email, or ask me to meet with you in person or call you. That's all fine with me. Oh, late work policy. In the first 9 weeks, I gave them unlimited time for late work. They could take as much time as they wanted. For the second 9 weeks, now that they've adjusted to virtual school, right, and turning things in through Canvas, I expect them now to have things turned in relatively close to the due date. So what I'm doing is I have a due date set for every assignment, and that if they turn it in within 3 days of the due date, I will not mark it as late or take off any points for it being late. If they turn it in after 3 days of the due date, then they're going to get a penalty where the highest grade they can get is a 75% on that assignment. And the exception to that is quizzes and tests, because I'm just happy if they get it done. And if they do well on it in the first place, I don't want them to get hurt by that being late. And then for the late work, if it's over a week late, it's going to be a 0. So for most people turn it in within a week, so I haven't really had that problem, and I hope it stays that way. If you've got some special circumstance, or you know, something's going on in their life, maybe they don't have internet access or they have health problems, just send me an email and I'd be happy to give them extra time to get the work done, or just excuse it altogether depending on how severe the circumstance is. So just be open with me, contact me if you need anything, and I'll be happy to help. And I hope you all have a great night, and let me know if you have any other questions. Thank you.